Hello everybody, Matt here once again, back with another video. Today I decided that I would do a ranking video, and since I just purchased Spider-Man Far From Home, I thought that I might as well rank all of the Spider-Man movies. Now I do not have the two Andrew Garfield movies. I'll probably be getting them shortly if they're cheap. So yeah, anyways, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Alright guys, so coming in last place is one that I do not have, and that is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now this is the only movie on this list that I absolutely do not like at all. That's one reason I haven't bought it yet. I haven't bought the first one yet because I just haven't gotten around to it, but The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a movie I have never liked. I remember that was one of the first superhero movies that I actually walked out of that I full on just didn't like from the beginning. And I like a lot of them, even some bad ones, so this was the first superhero movie that I full on just, I didn't like. Something just really annoys me about it from start to finish. If there's any redeeming quality about this, I'd say it's Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone and their chemistry. That was good, just like in the first one. However, I can't really find anything else to like about this movie. I hated all three of the villains and how they were portrayed, and I didn't like it at all whatsoever. And so coming in number 8 is one I do have, and that is Spider-Man 3. Now, this one is similar to The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in that it has a whole bunch of bad in it. I don't hate this movie, but I also don't like it either. There are several segments throughout this movie, basically anything that involves Sandman, and a lot of the stuff at the beginning too I thought were really good, but it seems like the more the movie goes on, just the more and more it deravels. So there's a lot I would change about it. I do watch this from time to time for like nostalgic purposes, but it's really not a movie that I'm going to have on replay, although I do like parts. Coming in at number 7 is Venom. So unlike Spider-Man 3, where I thought Spider-Man 3 started out good and then got bad, Venom's a movie that I thought started out bad but actually got good in the second half. So I don't have too many complaints about this movie other than that the first half of it I think is really, really boring. But once Venom himself actually gets with Eddie and those two start doing the scenes together, I really like the movie from that point on. But because the first, like, at least hour or so of the movie is really boring, I don't think I'll be popping this movie in that often either. But there is a lot that I do like about this movie. And, so yeah. And then coming in at number 6 is another one that I don't have, and that is The Amazing Spider-Man. So this one is a movie that I definitely do not hate, but I also don't love either. I feel like this is the one movie on this list that is just, it's the best, like, the best way to describe it is it's okay. Like, there's a lot of scenes in it that I do like, but it's also, I feel like not a lot really happens in it. There's a lot of really cool scenes, and the cover to it on its case is probably the coolest poster for any Spider-Man movie. But the movie itself, while being good, again, isn't a movie that I'm going to pop in that much. But yeah, every movie after The Amazing Spider-Man is movies that I absolutely love, and I will constantly be watching because I really like all of them. So coming in at number 5 is a movie that a lot of you are probably going to be annoyed or shocked that I'm putting it this low, but I do like it, and that is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So this is a very, very good movie, and I'm actually surprised I liked it just as much as I did, because honestly, from what I had seen before, I didn't really like Miles at all from like the comic stuff, but I thought they did like a really, really good job in this movie. And you think that it's called Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, you think with it being a Spider-Verse movie that it's about all of them. No, this is 100% Miles' movie, and I think that is definitely a good thing, because as much as I love Peter and he will always be my favorite Spider-Man, this was a nice change of pace, and I did really like it. And I've seen this about 5 or 6 times. I like it a lot. The only thing I would change is that in spots there are some scenes where I thought the humor was too, like, kind of kiddish for me. Most of it's with a lot of these other side characters that, unpopular opinion, I kind of wish weren't in the movie and just focused on these 3. but that's just more of a nitpick. Other than that, I thought this was a really great movie, and I really, really liked it. So then, coming in at number 4 is Spider-Man Homecoming. So now I really, really like this movie a lot, but I just want to say, straight off the bat, I really don't like this cover. I mean, it's cool, it has Iron Man, blah, 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 but something about this cover just really irritates me. He looks kind of, like a stuffed animal to me. I don't know why. Like, I feel like he's just stuffed with, like cloth or something, I don't know. But anyway, the movie itself was really, really good. I know a lot of people don't like Spider-Man Homecoming because it is really different than Spider-Man. This is definitely like a new take on Spider-Man, but I personally really liked it. I liked the MCU a lot, and I like Spider-Man a lot. And since we've had already 2 versions before, I was ready for an even newer and different version, because we can't just keep watching the same thing over and over again. At least that's my opinion anyway. And I really, really liked it. But yeah, coming in at number 3 is Spider-Man, the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Now, this movie used to be lower on the list. I used to put a couple ahead of it, but I rewatched it, and honestly, in some ways, this is almost as good. It's on par with the other 2 I'm about to mention. The only thing I have at all a problem with this movie is that a lot of like the effects and stuff feel very dated, but the movie itself is honestly phenomenal in my opinion. This is one of the movies that got me into superheroes in general, so I absolutely love this movie. The Raimi trilogy, even Spider-Man 3 has so much like nostalgia for me. I watched these movies left and right so many times, so these will always have a special place in my heart, and I really, really love Spider-Man 1. So that is number 3. Coming in at number 2 is the new Spider-Man Far From Home, and I got the Blu-ray edition, and I really wanted the 4K one because it had a much cooler cover. I don't really hate this cover. It's definitely better than the Homecoming one. I do like this part, even though it's similar to the Homecoming one, and I complain about that one. I think this looks good, but this top part really bugs me. But the movie itself is great. It's, again, a very different Spider-Man movie, which I was fine with. I like this new take on Spider-Man. I know it's a very different version, but I absolutely love this movie. And Tom Holland is great, of course. And Mysterio was such a good villain in this movie. Vulture was great, too. And I actually thought they weren't going to be able to top him, because I thought he was a great villain. But they did it, at least for that movie. He's probably one of my favorite villains in all of the MCU, and I can't believe they actually were able to make Mysterio cool, because before I always thought he was super corny, which he kind of still is with the helmet of the fishbowl on, but he doesn't even wear it that much, which I know that's probably a turn off for some people, but this movie was really, really good too. And I honestly contemplated, I thought this was my favorite for a while, but I still just can't change my opinion on what my number 1 is, and this is probably a lot of people's number 1, and I can totally 100% see why, and that is Spider-Man 2. This movie, it's not my favorite superhero movie anymore now that Endgame has come out, but before, this has been like my favorite superhero movie for years. Honestly, I don't really have any complaints at all about this movie. I thought it was so well made. I think it has the coolest poster of the Sam Raimi ones. I still think first Amazing Spiderman has the coolest cover to it. But yeah, I love this movie so much. I think I watched Spider-Man 3 the most growing up, but actually getting older and rewatching these movies several more times, I by far think that this one is the best, and I absolutely adore it. It has everything that I want out of a Spider-Man movie. And Doc Ock is by far the best villain of all of the Spider-Man movies. Mysterio is pretty close for me, but I still there's so much nostalgia for this movie for me, and I loved everything about it, and I think it will, unless they're able to pull off the better one in the future, but as right now, I don't think this will ever be replaced as my number 1. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this ranking video, and if you do want more videos like this, make sure to let me know in the comments below. And so yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys all next time.